Live from Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township, Baycats TV presents the Inter-County Baseball League. And this afternoon, it's the London Majors in town to take on the defending IBL champion, Barrie Baycats. Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's broadcast. Ben Davy along with Julius, Hern, and Maddie Gale on a sweltering hot Saturday afternoon here at the ballpark. I guess the big question, Julius, is what's hotter, this weather here in Barrie today or the Baycats themselves, who have now won 5 in a row?
Not only have they won 5 in a row, they've had at least 14 hits in each of their last 5 games. So it's been an incredible, torrid stretch of offense for this Barrie Baycats team. And Willie Garcia has been a huge part of this. He's 8 for 18 in his last 5 games. A huge home run last night that powered him to that win at Christie Pitts. And he's looking at being a more of a contributor than he was earlier on the season. A guy that Josh Matlis said earlier on this year that he can lead the league in home runs.
Just above Barrie in the standings today are their opponent today, the London Majors, who come in sitting in 3rd place, off to a really good start this season despite some roster changes. The question, I think, is with them is their lineup, and are they going to be able to carry the weight offensively?
I think they were able to. They were really close to a comeback on Canada Day, a couple runs in the 8th and 9th, but just couldn't quite get there. Caden Cardoso was a big loss for them this year. He got signed by the Ottawa Titans of the Frontier League, but getting a guy back from Ottawa, Tucker Zdunek, he's in the lineup tonight. He's been great this year. 317 since he came over from the Frontier League, and he's been a key part of why their offense has been able to keep pace.
All right, let's start this game, and let's hope it's a quick one. Baycats and Majors. Here's our public address announcer with the starting lineups, Rob Daniels.
Rob.
Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, welcome to Athletic Kulture Stadium for season number 24 of Barrie Baycats Baseball. We've got another Paul Sadlin Motors Junior Baycats game today, and it features the visiting London Majors and your Barrie Baycats. Here are this afternoon's starting lineups. First for the London Majors, managed by Roop Chanderdat. Batting first, playing center field, number 96, Toby Simmons. Batting second, the shortstop, number 6, Francisco Fallardo. Batting third, the catcher, number 26, Eduardo De Olio. Batting fourth in left field, number 44, Tucker Zdunek. Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 30, Josh Niles. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 22, Byron Reichstein. Batting seventh in right field, the number 19, Champ Garner. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 12, Brad Verhoeven. And batting ninth at second base, number 39, Adrian Harrison. On the mound for the Majors, number 25, Travis Keys. And now, the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Matlow. Batting first, playing center field, number 95, Noel McGarry Doyle. Batting second at shortstop, number 11, Brandon Hernandez. Batting third, the designated hitter, number 43, Clayton Keys. Batting fourth at first base, number 20, Nolan Macabroda. Batting fifth in left field, number 6, Tristan Clark. Batting sixth in right field, number 4, Willie Garcia. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 28, Noah Hall. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 44, Tyler Plumpton. And batting ninth, the second baseman, number 81, Alex Wickett. On the mound today for your Baycats, number 97, Frank Garces. Your umpires for this afternoon's contest, calling the balls and strikes, we have Jared Merkley. Handling first base, Chris Marco. And at third base is Chris Walters. Fans, at this time, we ask you to please rise, if you are able to, and kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you.
Majors and Baycats for the fourth time this season. Barrie 2-1, and the road team has won all 3 games so far. Always exciting when you get to play the team that you're trying to catch in the standings, or at least one of them. And the London Majors commences today a game and a half ahead of Barrie, so the Baycats can narrow that gap to just a half a game with a win here at home this afternoon.
Well, the thing between this season's series between the London Majors and the Barrie Baycats, the road team has won every game. London won a game 6-3 their first time at Athletic Kulture Stadium this year, while the Baycats have won both games at Labatt Park. Most recently, a game on Canada Day where the Baycats had 15 hits. So the offense was there, and they're going to be backed up by Frank Garces, who's on the mound. We'll get to him in a little bit.
Majors manager Roop Chandernat has put his lineup today together as follows. Toby Simmons leading off in center field. Francisco Fajardo, the shortstop, bats second. Eduardo De Olio catching, batting third. It's Tyler Zdunek, left field and hitting cleanup. Josh Niles, the third, bats fifth. Byron Reichstein, the veteran DH, in the number 6 spot. Champ Garner hits seventh in right field. Brad Verhoeven at first base, batting 8th. And Adrian Harrison, the second baseman and number 9 hitter today for the London Majors.
On the mound today for the Barrie Baycats, Frank Garces coming in, one of the best ERAs in the IBL, coming off some incredible outings that he's had recently. Season stats so far for him this year: 2.81 ERA through 7 appearances, 6 of those are starts, 48 innings. He's only allowed 15 earned runs, but he comes in with a 2-2 record. Lost his first 2 starts of the season, but has since looked like prime Frank Garces.
31-degree game time temperature, feeling like 39 with the Humidex. We did have a passing shower across the region about an hour ago. It was very brief, and we think we're going to be okay for the rest of the afternoon and evening. A bit of cloud cover, but nothing in terms of rain in sight that could potentially disrupt this afternoon's game, so that is good news for the fans that are here hoping to soak up some sunshine. There's certainly plenty of that. Little bit of a breeze, pretty negligible to be honest with you. It was blowing from right to left earlier, but flags are pretty quiet right now over the right field scoreboard. Any wind, I think, would be welcome news for these fans here.
Yeah, it feels like one of those games where like a breeze is a necessity, but we're just not getting it as of yet, at least.
Unfortunately, no overhang or shady seating areas here at this ballpark. That's the one unfortunate feature of this park. Athletic Kulture Stadium. Fans bring their own umbrella to stay in the shade.
Trying to count the umbrellas. That usually tends to be a trend of this ballpark because, again, like you said, lack of shade. And with the heat that we've had for a few home games this year, this might be the worst of it.
Remember how cold we were on tropical nights? And yeah, we knew it. It was going to be a hot Saturday, and here we are. It's a heat warning officially in effect for Barrie and the Simcoe County area. Keeping our eye on tomorrow's forecast, too, because we do have a Sunday night game here at Athletic Kulture Stadium tomorrow night at 7, and some showers are in the forecast for late afternoon, early evening. So 22U games here should be fine, but we'll keep our eye on the weather for the IBL game. First pitch strike from Frank Garces at 4:09 on this Saturday afternoon in Springwater Township. Toby Simmons at the plate, takes another pitch. That one just a little off the plate. Count is 1-1. Jared Merkley is calling the balls and strikes for us today. Chris Marco handling duties at first base, and it's Chris Walters at third. Garces behind in the count now, 2-1.
We're talking about the heat. I think the Majors might be lucky they chose to go with their gray uniforms today instead of their dark blue.
I absolutely love that classic look, just the straight-up gray that London has worn for many years now. This is a bit of a deeper gray than they had a few seasons ago. I remember they kind of had a lighter shade similar to the New York Yankees with the capital London lettering across the front. It looks really nice.
I like them both. I was at Labatt Park on Canada Day at the game and seeing a few fans with the road-style jerseys. They looked really clean. It was kind of waiting when I would see them next, and I guess here we are.
These ones are a little more of a silverish shade of gray for this 2025 season. 3-2 pitch on the way, and the first batter is aboard for the Majors. Toby Simmons is on to lead off the first inning.
Let's give it the defense. Let's give it the defense for the Barrie Baycats. From left to right in the outfield, Tristan Clark, Noel McGarry-Doyle, Willie Garcia back in right field. Got the start again yesterday. On the infield, it's Noah Hall at third, Brandon Hernandez at short, Alex Wickett gets the start again at second base. Noel Macabrota's back at first, and Tyler Plumpton's catching Frank Garces.
Clayton Keys handling DH duty, so good to see him back in the lineup after a highlight reel catch here on Thursday night had to leave the game. Showing bunt on the first pitch is Fajardo. Right back to Garces to first for the out there. Simmons advances to second, one away.
I know Matty Gale will have more for us on keys later, but he was telling me earlier that that catch, it's an injury that he had in London, actually, something that kind of tweaked his quad a little bit. But he said if he didn't have that injury, that catch would have been a routine play for him. He had to kind of leap off his non-dominant leg to be able to make that catch.
Other injuries of note, Francisco Hernandez, day-to-day, lower body at second base. He's missed a number of games. Alex Wickett has stepped in very nicely, though, into that spot. Ryan Rio out for the season, as mentioned, and Malik Williams finished as well. So lots of opportunities for some of these secondary players, and in particular the 22U guys to step in and get some action here.
I know that Malik Williams' injury was worse than originally feared, but yeah, it does seem like the verdict is he's out for the season.
Line drive to short, and it's off the glove of Brandon Hernandez and into left field. Rounding third is Simmons. Here's the throw, and he scores the first run of the game for the Majors. It's an RBI single for Eduardo De Olio, 1-0 London.
That was a really hard hit ball off the bat of Eduardo De Olio. Tough to handle for Brandon Hernandez, who kind of had to play it on a tricky hop, but very unlike Frank Garces to give up a run, especially a walk being the first batter of the game. But the only out was a sacrifice bunt, which allowed that run to score eventually.
So 1 on, 1 out, 1-0 Majors. And it's the cleanup man, Tyler Zdunek. Taking all the way, it's a first pitch strike from Garces. Garces, 35-year-old left-handed Dominican from San Cristobal. 55 big league games to his name with the San Diego Padres in 14 and 15. Swing and a miss. Count 0-2 to Zdunek.
Zdunek, 25 years old, from High River, Alberta, previously with Okotoks in the WCBL, but had a stint with the Ottawa Titans earlier this year in the Frontier League.
0-2 pitch, just missed.
Hit 217 there and was released. It's a cutthroat business out there in Ottawa in the Frontier League.
Seem to have had a lot of IBL players get their opportunities on that squad this year. That pitch is upstairs, and now Frank even in the count, 2-2 to Tyler Zdunek.
Well, they like their Canadians out there. It's much easier to deal with as opposed to getting a visa for a lot of those international players. So this league is a breeding ground for Frontier League potential.
Zdunek, lots of patience in this at bat. Takes one right down Broadway, strike 3. It's a strikeout for IMP North, and there's 2 out in the inning. Here's Josh Niles.
Number 30, Josh Niles.
Niles hitting .255 through 17 games.
Yeah, she got ejected in that game on Tuesday. There's a lot of arguments with the umpire late in that game, and he was a casualty of that.
Kind of interesting, the Majors, we were talking about the uniform designs earlier and kind of looking like the New York Yankees here this afternoon, but they were looking like the Toronto Blue Jays on Canada Day with the home red with Canada on the back. Really good looking jersey for Canada Day celebrations.
Yeah, you gotta love the Canadian flair. It's always a fun time at Labatt Park on July 1st.
1 ball, 1 strike. Garces, the left-hander, deals. It's the outside corner for strike 2. 1-0 Majors on an RBI single by Eduardo De Olio. Niles is ready, so is Garces. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's brought to you by IMP North and 2 strikeouts by Frank Garces as the Majors strand a runner, and they score a run in the top half of the inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer.
Hi, I'm Christy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
This first inning of play is brought to you by Park Place, Barrie's Grand Slam destination for dining, shopping, and fun. See you after the game.
Here come the Baycats. Noel McGarry-Doyle is going to lead it off. He's the center fielder today. Brandon Hernandez at shortstop, bats second. Clayton Keys DHing and batting third. Nolan Macabrota, the cleanup man, and first baseman. Tristan Clark in left field, bats fifth. Willie Garcia back in right field today and hitting sixth. Noah Hull, Tyler Plumpton, Alex Wickett. Round out the order for Josh Matlow's Baycats today, 7, 8, 9.
And on the mound for the London Majors will be Travis Keys. He got the start on Canada today, so a bit of a tight turnaround. Just it seems like 4 days rest for him, or 3 days rest. But he has cemented himself this year as clear-cut one of the best pitchers in the IBL, an ERA under 2.
McGarry-Doyle, first pitch swinging line drive up the middle, base hit. So the Baycats get a man aboard, and Brandon Hernandez comes to the plate.
Give you the defense for the London Majors behind Travis Keys. It's Tucker Stunek in left field, Toby Simmons in center, Champ Garner gets the start in right. On the infield, Josh Niles at third, Francisco Fallardo at short, Adrian Harrison is at second base, Brad Verhoeven at first, and Eduardo DeOlio behind the plate.
It's not often a pitcher in the IBL will work a Saturday after a Tuesday, or, you know, you mentioned the short turnaround there, and I was talking to Rip Chanderdat before the game. As Hernandez pops it up down the left field line, it's out of play and foul. Count is 0-1. Rip told me that they work around his schedule, around Travis Key's schedule, so presumably he may not be available for the next little while after today. This gets him at least one game in this weekend.
Also, if you look at it, you're putting him against Frank Garces. You're giving yourself the best chance to win with two nearly equally matched pitchers on the mound facing each other, both lefties.
Having said that, just 3 full days of rest, and the third time the Baycats will get a look at him this season. So strategically, that may be a little bit counterintuitive. 0-1 the count. Runner goes. Hit and run is on. Little glancing foul off the bat of Brandon Hernandez. McGarry-Doyle will head back, and the count is 0-2.
You're talking about how this is the third time the Baycats have faced Travis Keys. Well, in those 2 outings, 12 1/3 innings combined, he's allowed 4 earned runs with 7 strikeouts. Opponent's average is 286.
No balls, 2 strikes. Travis Keys taking his time out there on the hill, wipes his hand. The left-hander to the belt. Kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. Big looping curve. Hernandez threw it. Strike 3. And here comes Clayton Keys. This is the matchup I've been waiting all day to say. Keys versus Keys. No relation between these two.
I was on the bus with the team on Tuesday, and knowing that Keys was starting at Labatt Park on Tuesday, Clayton Keys was telling me, like, I don't like that guy's name. Who spells their name with 2 E's?
Well, that's true. They're not spelled the same. You're right. See, I very seldom pay attention to spelling because all I have to worry about is saying the name right.
Yeah, pardon me. It was, who spells their name with 1 E? Clayton Keys, 2 E's. Travis Keys, 1.
Right. Well, I can relate to that because people stick an extra E in Davy all the time, and it's just D-A-V-Y, but I have to deal with that frustration with the extra E in there.
For me, it's often people add an A in the middle of my name.
Well, that's how I thought your name was spelled, to be honest with you. I probably when the rare occasion where I would put your last name in writing, I probably put an A in there. Runner aboard, 0-2 the count. Keys is ready as he looks in. Looking at the runner. And comes home with the 0-2 pitch, and that's upstairs. Travis Keys, 27 years old, left-hander from London, local product. 6-2 with the majors last season and 3-1 this year. So combined 9-3 IBL record. Off speed, lifted foul. Over to the right, and that will be into the bleachers. Down that right field line, and the count is 1-2.
You got to imagine that he's arguably the leading contender to start the All-Star game for the South team. Started the last year in Welland, but he's earning it potentially for the second year in a row.
ERA of 1.64 coming into this game this afternoon. Kicks and deals the 1-2. Swing and a miss. The throw down, the tag, not in time. So down on strikes is Clayton Keys. Great move by Eduardo De Olio as they tried to nip Noel McGarry Doyle backdoor.
McGarry Doyle's got to be careful of that because Eduardo De Olio is so quick with his arm behind the plate. A guy was a AAA level catcher in his pro days.
Seriously, one of the best defensively. And he will keep those base runners on their toes all afternoon.
And Travis Keys picked off McGarry Doyle himself on Canada Day, so he's got to be wary of the pitcher too.
Set up outside to Nolan Macabrota. He doesn't chase. It's 1-0.
It was a first inning leadoff single from McGarry Doyle, and then he was immediately picked off just a few pitches later.
Swing and a miss. Macabrota right through it.
And way out in front too is the off-speed pitch from Travis Keys.
Yeah, he was looking fastball, I think. McGarry Doyle, certainly one of the faster runners in the league. He's only 2 for 4, though, on steal attempts this season. Limited action, just his 12th game. He was one of those Frontier League call-ups who got a look mid-season. Count is 2-1 here. Macabrota hit a monster home run here on Thursday night. Keys checks the runner, and they didn't get him. Wow, McGarry Doyle, very fortunate. He was leading.
He was so lucky. That was a missed tag from Brad Verhoeven. Looked like he might have stumbled trying to take that extra half step towards the base runner to apply the tag and just missed.
Sure looked like he was thinking about at least getting a secondary lead on that pitch, and he was leaning the wrong way. 2-1 now the count. Swing and a miss by Macabrota, 2-2.
It was the pickoff on Tuesday night. Keys and McGarry Doyle. McGarry Doyle just had no shot. It looked like his ankles kind of buckled when he saw Keys' move. It was very, very deceptive.
There he goes. 2-2 pitch, and it's fouled away. So McGarry Doyle will head back. Manager Roop Chanderdad out to pick up the baseball, and he underhands it over to the Barrie side. Victor Payado is the strikeout king on this London pitching staff. Keys has 16, but 2 already here in this first inning. So give him 18 now with those 2. And here's the 2-2 pitch, and that's up high. Count is full. And some scattered applause through the crowd here as some cloud cover has given us a little bit of a respite from the sun. You almost could hear that collective sigh of satisfaction.
It's like, yes, we're not in the bright light.
Brings the Humidex down a couple degrees. Runner goes on the 3-2. It's low. Ball 4. 2 on for the Baycats with 2 out.
That's an important walk there for Noah Macabroa, bringing up Tristan Clark, who, again, another guy that's a contender to be an all-star starter here today.
If these clouds in right field stick around, I think we're going to be just fine here this afternoon. There's quite a bit of cloud to the west. None of it expected to bring rain, but just keeping it comfortable enough for us here on this scorching hot day. 2 on for Barrie. Here's Keys. Off-speed pitch. Ground ball, and it's through into left field. Rounding third is McGarry Doyle. Here comes the throw. It's not in time. An RBI single for Tristan Clark. Barrie ties it at 1.
Just seems like every time when Tristan Clark is put in a situation to drive in a runner in scoring position, he does just that. Another RBI single for him.
Willie Garcia has really become a fan favorite here in Barrie in his first season here in the IBL, former Chicago White Sox. Seen a lot of playing time in right field, DH'd on Thursday. They've been keeping his bat in the lineup as much as possible, and he's picked up his numbers quite a bit from the first few weeks of the season.
I mentioned he's 8 for 18 in his last 5 games, with 7 RBI to show for it, including a 3-run homer yesterday off of Ayami Sato in Toronto.
3 homers, 13 RBIs. I don't think he's homered at home yet.
He has once.
Pretty good numbers. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's a line drive to short, and it's caught right on a line. Francisco Fajardo took that on a rope, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So the Baycats tie the game 1-1 through 1 here at Athletic Kulture Stadium on Baycats TV and Rogers TV on YouTube.
One run on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. One tie between the Majors and the Baycats as we head to the top of the second inning. Let's check in now with Maddie Gale with a live report.
Got the chance to talk with Alex Wickett, and he told me not only has he felt he's had a strong performance recently, getting called up to the IBL games, he also feels like he's learned a lot from these older players. He told me they constantly give him tips, and he feels when he goes back down to the junior games to play with them, he feels like he's going to be a better player overall. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Maddie. Byron Reichstein, Champ Garner, Brad Verhoeven are all due up here for the Majors against Frank Garces in this top of the second inning. Eighth appearance of the year for the Barrie left-hander. Swing and a miss by Reichstein. Each team with a run in their half of the first inning. Here's the pitch from Garces, up high. Count 1-2. Called strike 3. Reichstein frozen. And 3 straight strikeouts for Frank Garces. Brought to you by IMP North. 1 out here in the second.
Garces walked the first batter of the game. It seemed very uncharacteristic of him. But he seems like he's back to regular self after that little dip to start off the first inning.
64 strikeouts on the season now. Just 8 walks, including that one that you mentioned. An outstanding strikeout to walk ratio has been a hallmark of his IBL career. A swing and a miss by Champ Garner. Garces winds, and he deals, and it's fouled back to the screen. Maddie was telling us the bags of ice are in high demand in the dugouts right now, and towels too, I would imagine. Anything to stay cool. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 4 in a row for Frank Garces. It's brought to you by IMP North, 2 away. This telecast is presented by the authority of the Intercounty Baseball League and the Barrie Baycats Baseball Club, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or retransmission in any form is strictly prohibited.
Man, I gotta wonder how this game compares to the doubleheader in Chatham-Kent, because in that game it was hotter, like the same kind of weekend with heat warnings across Ontario.
High fly ball, center field, pretty deep, and it's going to be over the head of the left fielder. Tristan Clark throws it in. It's a stand-up double for Brad Verhoeven with 2 outs. Well, I can't imagine it was any cooler in southwestern Ontario than it was here in Barrie that weekend. And
it was actually about 4 degrees hotter.
That was by far and away the hottest weekend we've had here in this area so far this summer. Humidex is well into the 40s. I think even mid-40s in the Toronto area. So,
well, there were a couple players in that game for Barrie. Austin Boylan got the start at second base, and Willie Garcia himself in right field. Both of them had to be taken out of the game with heat exhaustion, which was really tough on that weekend in particular because that was the same weekend that Malik Williams got hurt and Francisco Hernandez got hurt. So, kind of the need for bodies was, in high demand.
Well, it was happening in MLB games too. I forget who it was, somebody on the Chicago Cubs had to leave the game at Wrigley Field. Heat exhaustion, and you think of all of the modern amenities that they have at big league ballparks with fans and air conditioning and lots of ways to stay hydrated and keep cool. Unlike here in the IBL, it's, you do what you can, but that's a base hit to center field. And rounding third is Brad Verhoeven. Throw is cut off, and the London Majors are in the lead for the second time today. The bottom of the order, getting it done here for the Majors. An RBI single by Adrian Harrison.
The interesting thing about this for the London Majors is the last time they were here, they also faced Frank Garces, and it was right around this part of the game, both in terms of timing, second inning, but also the part of the lineup. Different players, but Frank Garces really struggling against the bottom of the lineup. Both times he's faced London at home this year. Last time it was Ken Sugi with a bases-clearing double that kind of got everything started.
So 2-1 Majors after a pair of strikeouts. A double from Brad Verhoeven, an RBI single by Adrian Harrison puts the Majors back on top. Toby Simmons now as we're back to the top of the order, and the count is 0-2.
London also be able to do all this with 2 outs.
Garces got the strikeouts to end the first, and he got them to start the second. Had 4 straight strikeouts prior to that double by Brad Verhoeven. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner goes, and the hit and run was on. It's fouled back. Count holds at 1-2.
Just Harrison, that was his 7th at-bat this year with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Second time he's been able to knock one in that situation.
One ball, 2 strikes. Frank Garces to Toby Simmons. Harrison does not go, and that one just outside. Count 2-2. Shout out to some young baseball players from Ivy. Some youngsters wearing the royal blue Ivy Leafs jerseys over on the third base side and enjoying some baseball. We have lots of kids from Barrie minor baseball here as well. Throughout the season, runner goes, swing and a miss, strike 3. It's brought to you by IMP North. Frank Garces strikes out the side despite surrendering a run to the London Majors. So it's 2-1 London through an inning and a half. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Second inning of play is brought to you by JC Unlimited Contracting. Design, supply, build, renovate, servicing Simcoe region for over a decade.
Looking to win here at home. First pitch, it's a called strike to Hull. Baycats one more game to finish off this 7-9 stretch, and that's tomorrow night. 7:05 in Guelph. So take note of that start time. 7:05.
It's here. 7:05 here.
Against Guelph here. Apologies if I said in Guelph. It's versus Guelph, but here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Keys kicks and deals. Down the line foul. Sunday Night Baseball. Except you don't get Carl Ravitch and David Cohn,
No.
You get us. But we'll do our best.
We're missing a David Cohn.
Right. Sam just said behind us, he said, I'd rather you guys anyways. Thank you, Sam. Very nice. Always appreciate the kind words. I went to a Sunday Night Baseball game at Wrigley Field at the end of April, and I had never been to a Sunday Night Baseball game, like a televised Sunday night game before. I didn't expect it would feel any differently, but there is a little bit of an extra buzz just because it's a national broadcast, and you can feel it in the ballpark and even around the city before the game. Swing and a miss by Hull. Strike 3. He's down. One away.
Now, do you notice the extra cameras in the ballpark at all?
Not really, to be honest with you. They said ESPN instead of Marquee or whatever they would have said, but
Well, I know they probably add about 3 or 4 cameras, I'd imagine.
there just seemed to be a little extra excitement being a national game. I think the fans sort of sensed, hey, the whole country's watching. This is a big deal, Sunday Night Baseball.
Now, was that your first time at Wrigley, period?
No, I've been many times, but my first Sunday Night Baseball game.
Was it your first night game at Wrigley?
No.
Okay,
Not my first night game either. But it was a good one. It was a 10-inning, 3-1 Phillies victory. To third, Niles, long throw in time for the out 2 away. Aaron Nola pitched an absolute gem for the Phillies. And I saw Jordan Romano, the former Blue Jay, come on and get the save.
Those have been a rarity for him this year.
What's that?
Those have been a rarity for him this year.
Yeah, one of his few rare good outings. The Cubs got just 3 hits in that game. There wasn't a whole lot to cheer about. Still an exciting finish. Is that rain? It is. We got some rain as Alex Wickett lines it over the shortstop for a base hit. Combination of sun and rain here at the ballpark. So those umbrellas are really coming in handy now.
Well, this guy made it rain on Thursday night, Noel McGarry Doyle, 2 home runs. He's been on fire since coming back from the Frontier League. Back-to-back multi-hit games in this 4-game and 4-day stretch.
This really would have been the perfect tropical day for that theme that we do. And he hits this one high, should stay in the park, left center field, and it'll be the center fielder running over for it, Toby Simmons. So the Baycats strand a runner. We played 2-1 London as we go to the 3rd inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp. See you this summer!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
The #1 architectural 3D rendering company in
Top of the 3rd inning. It is raining at Athletic Kulture Stadium. That's not going to interrupt this game at all. It's just giving everybody a nice cool down.
Much needed cool down.
Here comes Francisco Fajardo to lead it off for the London Majors. You know, we should have like the Birdland guy at Camden Yards with the hose, just spraying everybody down. That would be great. I know that doesn't really
the bird bath.
That doesn't really fit any theme of these two teams here, but
the bird bath section in Camden Yards.
I guess we can't really incorporate that with the Baycats because cats try to avoid water. So
yeah,
but it sure would be nice to have something like that just to keep everybody cool. Fouled off.
I don't think I've ever seen a ball hit at that angle.
I lost sight of it. It just disappeared. I knew it was foul. I didn't see where it landed.
It went out of the hedges to our right, like kind of parallel to first base.
Line drive center field base hit. Leadoff man aboard for the second time for London. Fajardo with a single. It'll bring up Eduardo De Olio.
Catcher number 26, Eduardo De Olio.
This is the guy that gave London their first lead of the ball game. An RBI single to bring in Toby Simmons in the top of the first.
Now, I think it's because I did my All-Star voting today, but DeOlio definitely seems like the front runner to be a starter.
A monster shot to left field. It is way gone. We already have rain here, but that one will bring some more. Eduardo DeOlio launches one that probably landed somewhere on Highway 26.
I think that went over.
I would give that at least an 80% chance that went through the hedges onto the highway. That was gone off the bat. Everyone in the park knew it. You couldn't have barreled it up any better if you're Eduardo DeOlio.
And a fun little celebration in front of the Majors dugout as
Left fielder number 44,
Eduardo DeOlio is welcomed to the dugout by his teammates. There's another one deep to left field. Clark comes over. That might be playable in foul territory. He makes the catch.
Third baseman number 30, Josh Niles.
So Niles, who struck out swinging to end the first, will come to the plate for the second time.
It's interesting the differences between Frank Garcetta's starts versus London, this being his third. But kind of the way the road one is sandwiched in between the two at home. The one on the road, he really struggled. He allowed 6 earned runs, the most he's allowed in his IBL career, and this one he's already allowed 4.
Hasn't had any problems against the Majors historically. This one in foul territory. It's Macabrota back to take it for the out. 2 down.
When you look back on it, though, the one in between those, the first one and today's, is he had 7 perfect innings on the road in London. So you got to wonder if maybe it's pitching at home for him this year, because he's been absolutely dominant in Hamilton.
Yeah,
both times he's pitched there, both 8-inning outings.
Yeah, that was his most recent outing. This one on the ground to second. Easy play for Alex Wickett, and that'll do it. But Eduardo DeOlio crushes one to left field. And London with their biggest lead of the afternoon. It's 4-1 Majors through 2.5. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game, hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Bernie Arbor Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game.
Third inning of play is brought to you by Render 3D Quick, the #1 architectural 3D rendering company in Canada, working with thousands of builders, developers, architects, and more.
Baycats and Majors will play once more after today, and that is the final game of the regular season for the Baycats. Sunday, August 17th at 4:05. So that's the only other Sunday game that we have on the schedule. Tomorrow's, of course, a rescheduled game against Guelph. Sunday, August 17th, 4:05 to wrap up the regular season. Ground ball to second. And that's an easy play for Adrian Harrison. 1 down. Hernandez retired. It brings up Clayton Keys. Majors are in Hamilton tomorrow, 4:05, and then they get 4 days off.
Tomorrow, Baycats play, and then they don't play until the following Friday. It'll be their first time in Brantford.
Those 4 days are going to feel like an eternity,
Yeah.
but definitely a welcome breather for this club that has played 7 games in 9 days. Right over the head of the pitcher into center field. Heads up Travis Keys. That one just went zinging by him. Base hit for Keys. Here's Nolan Macabrota. Is this a new walk-up song for Nolan?
This is a new walk-up song, and it's one that he's wanted for a while. He was at one of the junior games I was doing PA for, and I was also writing the music. And he said, "Hey, can you play Down Under for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got you." And then he's like, "Yeah, I want to make that my walk-up song."
Now, we're not aware of any Australian connections he has. Or
I asked him, he doesn't have one.
He just likes the song.
He just loves it.
I always love players when they find a throwback for their walk-up song.
Like Zachary Owen, you've seen a couple times in the IBL, and his walk-up song is Twist and Shout by the Beatles, which I thought was so different.
Macabrota walked in the first. Keys delivery. Fly ball left field. Foul over near the London bullpen. And a foot race. 4 or 5 youngsters chasing that one down. These kids from Ivy wearing the Ivy Leafs jerseys. It's a good thing they picked the London game to come to and not Toronto. No balls, 2 strikes. Nolan Macabrota, pride of Saskatchewan.
The only player in the IBL from Saskatchewan, actually.
Yeah, I mentioned on a broadcast earlier, I was super disappointed to find out he's not really much of a Riders fan. They are the only game in town in Saskatchewan, other than junior hockey, which is pretty big. But
Well, makes sense because he's from Saskatoon.
high fly ball, left field, pretty deep. Donick going back, near the wall, reaches up, can't make the catch. Picks it up at the base of the fence. And Keys goes to third, and none to second. Now goes Macabrota on the bad throw. Clayton Keys had a hold up, unsure if Donick might come up with that catch. He came pretty close.
Well, Macabrota was content to hold that to a single, but once he saw the throw get away from Fajardo, he immediately didn't hesitate going to second base, and it was a good decision for him. Now 2 in scoring position for Tristan Clark, who had the RBI single earlier on.
Well, you can only run so hard to first because Keys was at first and had to hold up in case that ball was caught. Keys went about a third of the way down, but last thing you want is to get doubled off on a situation like that. So a single for Macabrota, takes second on the throw. Keys and Macabrota aboard for Tristan Clark. Clark hits this one to right field. Garner back at the wall, makes the catch. Tagging and scoring is Keys. To third is Macabrota, but what a catch by Champ Garner against that right field fence.
That was a very difficult catch there for Champ Garner. Almost like he got spun off a bit, when contact was made. But he stuck with it and had a bit of a crash into the wall, so luckily he was able to hang on for him.
Willie Garcia, the right fielder, now will bat.
Another RBI for Tristan Clark. That's his 13th this year with runners in scoring position.
And they're just going to wave him down to first. Intentional walk for Garcia. Runners on the corners. They'll pitch to Noah Hull instead. Haven't seen too many intentional walks this season, but the Majors wanted no part of Willie Garcia.
That's his second of the season. First one was in the home opener.
Makes sense. Pitch to the left-hander Hull. Group chanted at, liking this matchup better. Here's the pitch. And it's down low. So each side with 5 hits. London on top, though, 4-2.
And McNamara giving a single and then advancing on the throw on that play. No error charge to Fajardo.
Baycats have not led in this game. Hull could put them on top with a swing of the bat here. Here's the pitch. Off speed, it's a called strike.
Everybody clap your hands. Come on, y'all.
Pretty good speed variance by Keys with that curveball and the fastball today. And this one hit deep to center field. A couple steps over for Simmons to take it for the catch. And he records the 3rd out of the inning. So the Baycats strand a couple of runners. They score one to make it a 4-2 game. Go to the 4th inning here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV, Rogers TV in Barrie. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. Back live in Springwater Township with the Majors on top 4-2 here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Let's get an injury update now with Maddie Gale.
That's fans watching tonight, starting with Francisco Hernandez. He suffered a hamstring injury in Chatham, but he said he has a week and a half left of recovery, and him and Josh Matlow are confident he'll be back to play after this. Andrew Johnston had a pitch hit his hand in London. He got an x-ray and there's no fracture. He said he's been lucky with injuries lately. He's going to be out for tomorrow's game, but should be back in good shape next week. Lastly, Clayton Keys got a precautionary pull Thursday's game after his diving catch. He said he tweaked his quad in London and it's been bugging him, but he's still good to hit, and he had a good performance DHing last night. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Maddie. A high pop-up. Garces is going to take it himself. One out here in the first inning.
You don't really see that too often from a pitcher taking the pop-up himself, but Frank Garces ever so confident.
Yeah, it was an easy catch for him. He just didn't want to take any chances, and in that case, why not? It's not conventional. Usually the pitcher gets out of the way, and the infielders sort that out behind him. But one down here in the inning. Here's Brad Verhoeven, the number 8 hitter. He doubled and scored in the second inning. So a lot of injuries with this Baycat roster, as to be expected as you go through any season. You're going to have your share of bumps and bruises, but it's been really impressive how the secondary players have stepped in and filled in some of those vacancies quite nicely.
Yeah, you think about the way Francisco Hernandez was hitting as soon as he got put in the 9 spot, gets injured, Alex Wickett steps in, and he's been great. Junior call-up, he's really earning that spot even if Hernandez wasn't injured. It seems like he might be challenging Hernandez for that role going forward full time.
Quick pitch by Garces and a swing and a miss. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Verhoeven waggles the bat as Garces kicks, delivers, fouled back to the screen. Garces is retired 4 in a row, coming off the 2-run homer by Eduardo De Olio. 1-2 pitch. Little flare to shallow left field, and it will drop for a base hit. Verhoeven aboard. 1 on with 1 out.
Second hit of the game there for Brad Verhoeven. We were talking earlier about the difference between Frank Garces on the road. It seems like his last couple outings, especially in Hamilton, both of them 8 innings. It seems like maybe the trend is that he's been better on the road this year, and that's definitely true. Look at his home ERA. 5.63 in two starts, 3 appearances. Obviously, the one relief appearance in Toronto was his best out of those 3 coming in today. On the road, he's had 4 starts, a 1.41 ERA. So vastly different performances from the Baycats lefty.
That's an interesting statistic. Fascinating, to be honest with you. It's a discrepancy that's just too significant to really overlook.
It's nearly 4 runs difference.
It's hard to explain. Just halfway through the season, Frank has always pitched well here at home prior to this season and pitched mostly at home, often working on the Thursday night of a weekend series. But as you alluded to, clearly his numbers have been a lot better away from Athletic Kulture Stadium this season. Here's his pitch, high and inside.
Well, it's that first start against London that was kind of the big one, pushing that ERA so high. Most earned runs he's allowed in a game in his IBL career, 6 in that outing. He went 5 innings.
Runner leads, that's Verhoeven. Here's the pitch, and it's in for a strike. 2-2. Middle infield, Brandon Hernandez, Alex Wickett. 1 out in the inning, they're at double play depth. Garces delivers outside. Count 3-2. Deep counts may be a factor in how many innings Garces works today as well. And characteristically had quite a few 2-2, 3-2 counts to pitch his way out of here today. Majors have had base runners now all 4 innings. Payoff pitch on the ground to third. Could be 2. They go to second for 1. The relay to first. It's in time for the double play. Hull to wicket to Macabroda, and that was exactly what the Baycats needed. We've played 3.5. London's still on top 4-2. On Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie. Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca.
This 4th inning is brought to you by Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, redefining gentlemen one community at a time.
Travis Keys and the London Majors on top of the Baycats by a score of 4-2 for their second win against Barrie here in this ballpark in 2025. Tyler Plumpton will lead off this inning for the Baycats in the bottom of the fourth, excuse me. Baycats scored in the first and the third, a run in each inning, trailing by 2 here in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch strike to Plumpton.
Keys had 88 pitches through 6 1/3 on Tuesday night.
Line to second. Easy catch for Adrian Harrison.
Second baseman number 81, Alex Wickett.
88 pitches for Keys, just like a piano, 88 keys, right?
Exactly.
Alex Wickett, 1 for 1 today. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Wickett, 417. Off the bare hand of Keys, recovers nicely, picks it up, low throw, but it's in plenty of time. 2 down.
You can tell the adrenaline was going when Keys had that ball go off his hand. That low throw to first nearly cost him a base runner, but training staff's going to come out. Looks like he's okay, waving him off.
Well, it's just a reflex for a lot of pitchers, and you got to make a quick decision whether you're going to try to knock that down. Certainly you don't want to injure your pitching hand. In that case, it worked out okay for Keys. It looks like he's going to be fine. We'll just make sure that he's okay. So Wickett 1 for 2 this afternoon. And here's Noel McGarry-Doyle. These 2 averages coming into today's game. Wickett 417, McGarry-Doyle 457. Yeah, that's a Ryan Rios 448. You got 3 guys hitting 400 or better here in early July. That's the first pitch strike. Hit weakly to first, and it's over near the Barrie dugout and a play.
Looks like a new bat for Noel McGarry-Doyle. I think we saw him break one on Thursday, but look at this one. That light blue just above the handle. That's a sharp-looking bat.
And Travis Keys wants a new baseball. A lot of perspiration out there on the mound on a day like today.
Yeah, it's gonna be, with that throughout the rest of the afternoon, it's gonna be hard getting used to the baseballs.
These pitchers constantly wiping off their hand and their forearm. That one high. 1 and 2. Keys is ready, rocks into the windup. Here's the pitch. A roller to second. Backhanded by Harrison, off balance throw. It is not in time. Nice effort by Harrison. I'm not sure he could have got that throw off any faster than he did.
No, that was a really nice effort from Adrian Harrison, but just with how hard that ball was hit and where it was hit, just past the mound, no infielder was going to have any shot at getting Noel McGarry-Doyle there.
Brandon Hernandez 0 for 2 today. Pitches inside. Let's see how close an eye Keys keeps on Noel McGarry-Doyle. He threw over several times.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier he picked him off on Tuesday in the first inning. So McGarry-Doyle has an idea of what the move is.
Fly ball left field. Carrying back for Tucker. Zdunek makes it for the out. That'll do it. A long fly ball off the bat of Brandon Hernandez brings this inning to a close. We played 4. Julius will call innings 5 and 6 when we return. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game?
Welcome back to Simcoe County. It's the London Majors and the Barrie Baycats. Both teams have 6 hits, but it's the London Majors with the 4-2 lead as we enter the 5th inning. Frank Garces back out for inning number 5. It'll be
center fielder number 96, Toby Simmons.
Top of the order for the Majors, Toby Simmons, Francisco Fallardo, and Eduardo De Olio due up, and that's kind of been the catalyst of everything so far today. Simmons walked and scored in the first, and then De Olio 2 for 2 with 3 RBI, including a monster home run in the 3rd inning.
Real endurance test today for these two ball clubs out there on the field. We talked about how hot it is even where we're sitting up here in the broadcast area, but add a couple, 2-3 more degrees for sure for those players out there on the field right now. And the pitchers in particular, Frank Garces and Travis Keys.
Big swing and a miss from Simmons. It's 1-2. There is some cloud cover now. There is a few scattered clouds throughout the area, so we're going to get, kind of some sunny breaks. Garces looks in. Here's the 1-2. Fouled off the tip of the bat by Simmons.
I think it's a pretty safe bet. A lot of these fans here today will head straight home for the swimming pool or the maybe a evening dip in the lake, cool off after this ball game.
Another 1-2. Caught on and missed. Another strikeout for Frank Garces. That's for IMP North. First strikeout for him since the 2nd inning.
Yeah, he struck out the side in the 2nd, had 2 strikeouts to wrap up the 1st inning after London got on the board first. As you mentioned, his first strikeout since then.
Simmons ended the 2nd, so with that strikeout. So 0 for 2 with 2 Ks and a walk. Here's Francisco Fallardo, pops it up. That'll be playable. Tyler Plumpton after it, tosses the mask away. He makes the catch for out number 2.
Great job by the veteran catcher over near the Baycats on deck circle. Knows how to position himself perfectly for those pop-ups.
Now here's the man that is the difference maker so far in this ball game. It's a 2-run game, and that was after a 2-run shot to Highway 26 by Eduardo De Olio. He's driven in 3 so far this afternoon. First pitch to him is just outside.
6 home runs in the season and give him 18 RBIs now with the 2 off that home run he got in the 3rd.
1-0, similar spot, doesn't get the call, 2-0.
How great is it to have a catcher who is so strong on both ends of his game? He's got the power bat, but as good as they come defensively as well.
I was literally just about to say that. 2-0 again, another one outside. Garces not having anything to do with Eduardo De Olio here.
You guys know each other. Oftentimes you have a catcher who's in the lineup for his defense, or maybe he's a power hitting catcher who often ends up DHing for you. De Olio can bring you both aspects of the game in one package.
Similar pitch from Garces. That one actually catches the outside part of the plate, so he gets a called strike, 3-1. De Olio patient against the lefty. 3-1. Fouled away. Counts full. London scored in each of the first 3 innings. Another 0 in the 4th. But they still lead it here by 2.
Well, it's a good strategy when you're playing a team like Barrie. Rather than sit back and wait for the big inning, just chip away. Try to get on the board every inning if you can.
Seems to be what's happened the last 2 times they've played both at Labatt Park. London's comeback coming up short on Tuesday. That's a flare out in the right side, slicing towards foul territory. Noah Macabroda makes the catch to end the inning. Garcetti gets behind on Deolio, but he comes back and gets him on a foul out. 3 up, 3 down go the Majors in the top of the 5th. We go to the bottom half of the 5th. Still a 2-run ball game between London and Barrie on Baycats TV.
Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. We are in the 5th inning here at Athletic Kulture Stadium, and it's brought to you by One-Eyed Jack Barrie. Bring your same-day Baycats tickets before or after a game and get 10% off your bill.
Julius, Hern, Ben, Davy, Manigal, and our entire Baycats TV crew with you. It's a 4-2 ball game in favor of the London Majors. Bottom of the 5th inning, Travis Keys is cruising along. Both teams have only had 6 hits so far in this game. But Keys, on just 3 full days of rest, has looked like his usual self. Clayton Keys will lead it off. That first pitch is in the dirt. Mentioned it earlier, and Roop Chandler, the manager of London, told me this on Tuesday as well. They kind of go off of Travis Keys' schedule as their number 1. Popped up. Adrian Harrison has a tough time looking for it, but Champ Garner comes in and make the catch a few paces away from the right field line.
Well, fortunately for Harrison, I think that was Champ Garner calling him off and making that catch. He had a much better look at it, and certainly with his momentum coming in.
Here's Noah Macabroda, reached both times he's been up so far, stranded in scoring position each time. But it's all about getting in scoring position for the man who's on deck, Tristan Clark. First pitch to Macabroda, just outside.
Well, he's reached base twice with the new walk-up song, so got a feeling he may roll with it for a while.
Popped up left side. Third baseman Josh Niles has an easy catch, 2 down.
Got a lot of pop-ups this afternoon on both sides. Keys, having worked on Canada Day, maybe thought his pitch count might be somewhat limited here today, but not so, as he's out here for his 5th inning of work, and the Majors bullpen is quiet right now. He's got a durable arm and a guy who can put up a lot of innings for you.
Keys' first pitch to Clark is through the legs of Deolio, ball 1. Clark, 2 RBI today, singled in the first, had a sacrifice fly in the third. Checks his swing, the appeal down to first. He went around, 1-1.
Clark, a guy who certainly knows his way around the United States. He's played in Texas, Louisiana, Wisconsin, Tennessee, and if you talk to him, you'll hear a little bit of a southern Oklahoma drawl.
Well, his family actually here on this weekend from Oklahoma. He's got 4 kids. He's still living down in Oklahoma, where he was playing, senior level ball a couple years before this one.
The interesting thing is, he is from here. He is born in Brampton, I believe.
Yes.
29 years old, but he spent so much of his time in the U.S., he kind of sounds, I was going to say half American, half Canadian, but it's probably more 80-20, to be honest with you. If you have a conversation with him, you'll hear that southern drawl right away.
2-2. Another check swing. The appeal, he went around again. Clark can't believe it. Dalio applies the tag. 3 up, 3 down go the Baycats. Keys capping it off with a strikeout. We're through 5. London leads it by a score of 4-2. You're watching Baycats TV.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run.
Four, 5, and 6, 2 up for the London Majors in the 6th inning. They lead it by a score of 4-2. Frank Garces, just 69 pitches through his first 5 innings. Seemed like more. He's gotten deep into quite a few counts, allowing 4 earned runs this afternoon. Tucker Zdunek to lead it off.
Yeah, this has not been a signature Frank Garces outing by any means, but he hasn't pitched badly. He's kept the Baycats in this game, kept the damage minimal, avoided the big inning from these London Majors bats. And the Baycats still with plenty of time to come out with the W here today.
As pitch number 70, it's a called strike to Tucker Zdunek, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. The 0-1, breaking ball just low.
Tucker, 25 years old, has played lots of Western Canadian baseball. Moose Jaw, Okotoks. I think we mentioned earlier a little Frontier League action as well.
Rips that one up the middle. That's a base hit to lead off the 6th for Tucker Zdunek. First hit of the ball game for him.
First time since the 3rd that the Majors have had the leadoff man on against Frank Garces. He's had base runners to deal with every inning but the 5th when he got the Majors 3 up, 3 down.
Yeah, Zdunek 1 for 4 yesterday and 2 for 4 on Tuesday with an RBI against the Baycats. He leads off first. Josh Niles at the plate now. First pitch to him, he shows bunt, pulls back, it's a called strike.
Zdunek 1 for 3 in steal attempts. Pretty important base runner there at first base right now for the Majors.
Showed bunt against. A little pop-up. Lands in front of the dirt and home plate, and Tyler Plumpton throws him out. Great defense from the Baycats catcher there. It's a sacrifice bunt for Niles.
Well, there was a little bit of confusion between Garces and Plumpton. It looked like a little bit of I'll get it, you take it. And they finally sorted it out. Situation like that, that's Plumpton's ball for sure if he calls for it. And looked like Frank was a little bit confused at the outset as far as who was going to pick that ball up and make that throw.
Plumpton definitely a shorter distance to go to get to that bunt. Easier play for him moving forward. So Zunick on second. First pitch to Byron Reichstein's a called strike. That was the second sacrifice bunt of the game for the Majors. First one in the first by Francisco Fallardo.
Well, that is Roop Chanderdad baseball, something the London Majors have been known for.
Reichstein late on that pitch. It's 0-2.
They will trade outs for advancing runners, especially in relatively low-scoring games such as this one.
They showed that later on in the game on Tuesday night as well. Here's the 0-2 from Garces. It's low.
Tells you a lot about what the Majors think of this Baycats pitching as well, too. They're not going to sit back and wait for the big inning. They're going to try to build this lead one run at a time and take nothing for granted.
1-2 from Garces. Called strike 3. Reichstein goes down looking. It's brought to you by IMP North. That's the second out of the sixth.
And it's the 7th strikeout for Frank Garces. Again, Frank just racking up the strikeouts. 61 coming into today, adds 7. He's at 68 now for the season for the Baycats. By far and away the team leader in that statistical category.
Champ Garner sees a first pitch strike.
It's so interesting last year. It was Cesar Rosado, the strikeout king, 105. Frank Garces had 81 last year. He is well on his way to eclipsing that this season.
His career high is 83. That was in 2023.
Rosado has pitched well, but has just 25 strikeouts. Not a bad season, however, by any measure. 3-2 record.
1-1 is hit into left field. That's a base hit for Garner. Getting the wave is Dunick. The throw in from Clark is not in time. Noah Hull nearly cut that one off, but it's Tucker Dunick coming in, scoring, standing up. And it's now a 3-run ball game, 5-2 London.
Well, a real nice throw there by Tristan Clark. He was pretty deep in left field. Got it right on the target, a bouncer, but just a little bit too late. Dunick in, and an important run for the Majors now as they build that lead to 3.
Brad Verhoeven had a double in the second inning and a single in the fourth. He's 2 for 2, trying to extend this 6th inning for London with a runner on.
Second time in this game that the Majors have had a 3-run lead. They led 4-1 halfway through the third.
First pitch from Garces on the ground, first base side. Macabroda is going to have a long way. The toss to Garces, and he gets there in time for out number 3. Close play for the Baycats lefty, but he gets through 6 innings. He's allowed 5 earned runs, and it's a 5-2 Majors lead. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. You're watching Baycats TV.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca. Bottom of the 6th inning, it's brought to you by Moving.ca. Two small men with big hearts moving, your original Canadian two-men movers. When you think two men, think with big hearts, your Canadian choice. Got to feel bad for anybody who's loading a moving truck today in this heat this weekend.
Oh my goodness.
Those guys, I'm sure, not only have big hearts, they have big jugs of water, too.
Absolutely. Julius, Hern, Ben, Davy, Matty Gale along with you. Bottom of the 6th inning, Travis Keys really keeping the majors in this, as you mentioned off air, Ben. Willie Garcia shows bunt on the first pitch, pulls back.
Well, he's retired 5 in a row and 8 of the last 9, and that is a great sign when your starting pitcher is in control like that in the middle innings.
4 strikeouts on the game for Travis Keys. Garcia shows bunt again. First baseman Brad Verhoeven, the only infielder really moving on that pitch defensively. Third baseman Josh Niles staying put pretty deep at third base.
Well, Garcia runs well for a big man, but it does kind of surprise me that he would be showing bunt. Not typically a player that you would think would try to bunt for a base hit.
2-0 is up high. He was intentionally walked his last time up. Before that, he lined out to short, a hard hit ball that almost handcuffed Francisco Fallardo. He was lucky to make that catch and not get hurt off of it. Kind of had to make a basket catch of the ball right at him. 3-0 is a called strike. Just catch that upper half of the zone inside.
Yeah, too close to take. Garcia took a half a step to first base, and now we'll get ready for the 3-1 pitch. A little bit of stretching going on in the Majors bullpen, but nobody throwing just yet.
Bit more of the same in the Baycats bullpen. Can't quite tell who it is. Here's the 3-1 from Keys. That's a called strike. Middle.
5 straight pitches that Garcia has taken here in this at bat, and the count is now full.
Here's the 3-2 from Keys. Called strike 3. Garcia was almost a third of the way down to first base. That was a very late call from home plate umpire Jared Merkley, and here comes Josh Matlow with some words.
And Merkley saying, go back to the dugout. I don't want to hear it. Garcia goes back for a conversation as well, and he better be careful.
Willie, go back.
And Matlow out to get Garcia just to make sure he doesn't get tossed from the game, but clearly some frustration with that called third strike. Looked like it could have been low or outside.
Absolutely. Definitely an infamous name, Jared Merkley, the home plate umpire. Noah Hull coming up. Let's go to our very own Matty Gill with more.
Noah Hull told me pregame that he feels like the team's been looking really good the last few games with the 5-game winning streak. He said the chemistry has been as strong as ever. He also gave lots of praise to the juniors players who have been called up for games lately. He said they've been very strong on the mound, naming Jonathan Warden, and strong hitters like Austin Boylan and Alex Wickett.
Thank you, Matty. They've been big parts of this team. Here's an 0-1 to Hull. Checked his swing. Didn't go around, but a called strike nonetheless. These junior players have really kind of kept the Baycats in it, whether it's Alex Wickett with his great performances as of late. But also last year, we didn't see the kind of bad luck in terms of injuries that the Baycats have been having this year. So to be able to have those call-ups have been really helpful.
You know, injuries affect every team at one point or another during the season. For the Baycats, as you mentioned, it seemed that you had quite a few all in the same span of time, and it's been really a great test of the depth of this roster.
There's a fly ball to center field. Simmons has to go back on it. It's pretty deep. At the wall, that ball is gone! Noah Hull, his 3rd home run of the season. Baycats are within 2.
Well, even if there was no fence, there was no way Toby Simmons was going to catch that baseball. He had a long way back to go. And Noah Hull with a big home run for the Baycats to narrow this lead to 2.
He's had some big hits here at home, and there's another one right there, dead center field. No shot for Toby Simmons. It's 5-3 London. There's a liner in the left field. That's a base hit for Tyler Plumpton. 2 pitches, 2 base hits for Barrie.
And it makes that strikeout to Willie Garcia even that more important, because that essentially cost the Baycats a run. He would have been on base. Close game like this, you can't worry about the umpiring. You just got to get up there to the plate and do the best you can and try to keep the momentum going.
Roop Chanderdad out to the mound. The mound visit for his starting pitcher, Travis Keys. There hasn't really been anyone throwing in the London bullpen, so this might be a precursor to say, hey, maybe you have one batter, maybe two. This is the bottom of the order for Barrie. This is kind of your warning. Only 3 earned runs allowed for Keys. Obviously, that home run, a big blow to his outing.
And Jared Merkley wants to keep this game moving along. On a hot, sweltering Saturday afternoon. Thursday night, Oliver Francescuto was basically letting the mound visits go as long as they wanted.
Well, keep in mind, these umpires today wearing black, so they're not having any fun out there either.
No need for any unnecessary delays on a day like today, but that mound visit for Roop, kind of multi-purpose, gives the...
There's a shot out to left field and looking towards the gap. It's caught.
Gives the bullpen a chance to get ready, gives the infielders a chance to figure out how they want to face the next batter, and it breaks up Barrie's momentum a little bit as well.
Tucker Stunek with the put out there off of Alex Wickett on a line drive. Second out of the inning. Back to the top of the order for Barrie, it's Noel McGarry Doyle.
Noel, it's Christmas time somewhere. Yeah, I missed that. Thank you. No, you're good, man.
First pitch to McGarry Doyle. It's a line drive. A little shallow left field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Looked like it was harder off the bat, but it flares in. Put 2 on with 2 out for Barrie.
Well, this is the first inning since the third that the Baycats have really made some solid contact on Travis Keys here this afternoon. He was cruising along through the middle innings until that home run by Noah Hull. And now singles by Plumpton and McGarry Doyle. Baycats have a chance to take the lead here with Brandon Hernandez at the dish.
There is action in the London bullpen, a right-hander up. Can't quite tell who it is at the moment. But 2 on with 2 out. Travis Keys trying to get out of this inning with only allowing 1 run. Here's the pitch to Hernandez. Another flare left field. Studek's been busy the last few batters. Got a beat on it. He makes a catch to end the frame. But Noah Hull goes deep. Gets 1 more on the board for the Barrie Baycats. 5-3 London through 6. Ben Davy back to call the 7th, 8th, and 9th for you right here on Baycats TV.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
London Majors coming to bat here on the top of the 7th inning. Ben Davy, Julius, Hern, Matty Gale with you on this beautiful Saturday. A very hot Saturday here at the ballpark, and we hope that you are enjoying the broadcast with some air conditioning wherever you may be today. And I'm sure some cold beverages of choice. 5-3 London lead here on the top of the 7th. And it's the number 9 hitter, Adrian Harrison, to lead it off. Frank Garces back out for his 7th inning of work. A bunt down the line, foul. Off the bat of Harrison. Count is 1-1.
Harrison, an RBI single in the second inning.
Left-hander throwing in the Barrie bullpen. Garces deals outside, count 2-1. Frank worked 8 innings in his last outing against the Hamilton Cardinals. They'd love to get 8 out of him here today, but he trails 5-3 in the game.
Yeah, looks like Braden Pakala throwing in the Baycats bullpen.
Foul to the right side. Count even now 2-2.
Didn't see Christian Lazar at the ballpark earlier today, so it looks like the only lefty available would be Braden Pakala or Ethan Morris, but Morris is set to start tomorrow's game.
Pakala has pitched very well this season. I'm sure manager Josh Matlow will give him plenty of opportunities to come on in relief here in the second half, the way he's been going. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Called strike 3. Brought to you by IMP North. There's 1 out in the inning. 8 strikeouts for Garces, and we're back to the top of the order for Toby Simmons.
You talk about Braden Pakala. There's questions about because of how well he's been pitching lately, he might have earned a spot as the setup man. He was given that opportunity yesterday and did exactly that at a scoreless inning in the 8th, setting up Carlos Sano for a save in Toronto.
Middle innings have been a cause for concern, and there have been a number of guys in and out of those middle relief opportunities for the Baycats, similar to last season. A hot shot to first. Macabroda will take it himself. 2 quick outs here in the 7th. Veteran Brad Grieveson worked in relief last night at Christie Pitts in Toronto. Baycats had a big lead. Toronto made it interesting, but Barrie held on for an 8-6 victory.
Yeah, 5-run 7th inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Juan Benitez pitched into the 7th, was taken out mid-inning. Brad Grieveson had to get the final out, but he gave up a couple hits in the process.
Francisco Fajardo. Now the breeze picks up a little bit now, blowing from left to right, opposite from how it was earlier today. Five runs, 8 hits for the Majors. 3 runs, 10 hits for the Baycats. Fouled off at home plate. Count 1-1.
Yeah, Fajardo fouls that one off of himself. Seems to be okay.
A reminder, we're back here tomorrow night, 7:05, Guelph Royals, a makeup game. That's not on your fridge magnet schedule, so be sure to come on out here and enjoy some baseball, weather permitting, tomorrow night. Bunted down the line, and it's a fair ball. And it goes down the line. Hull elected to leave it. And that'll be a costly mistake. Up to second base goes Francisco Fajardo.
Not a smart move at all there from Noah Hall. It was going to have to be a barehanded play if he had any shot of getting Fajardo at first, but at least stop that ball from going into the outfield potentially. It was well in fair territory, and it cost the Baycats an extra base hit against.
Well, I think he was hoping that ball would spin foul, but it was well inside that line.
Catcher number 26, Eduardo De Olio.
So up to second goes Fajardo, and here is De Olio. Yeah, I mentioned weather permitting on that game tomorrow because there are some showers in the forecast late afternoon into the evening tomorrow. We do have some 22U baseball here as well, I believe tomorrow.
It's been canceled.
They have canceled that. Okay, well, that's news to me. So hopefully we get the IBL game in at 7:05. De Olio gets the intentional walk, so 2 on now, and it's cleanup hitter Tucker Zdanek.
Zdanek had a hit and scored in the 6th inning.
Two on, 2 out, runner goes, and it's fouled at home plate. And that caught a piece of Tyler Plumpton.
Yeah, Zdanek just got a stitch on it. It looked like Fajardo had third base stolen had he not made contact.
He went in with a head first slide, and you're right, I think he would have had that clean.
It seems like a smart move for the moment, intentionally walking Eduardo De Olio.
Fajardo has 10 steals. That ties him for the lead on the majors this season. Swing and a miss.
And Stunek got that fastball and was well behind it. Looked like he was sitting on a curveball.
Both Fajardo and Simmons are 10 for 14 to lead the majors in steal attempts this year. He's at second. De Olio is at first. 2 down. Pitch, swing, and a miss. As Stunek could not hold up, tried to check his swing but couldn't, and Garces gets a strikeout for IMP North to end the top of the 7th inning. It's stretch time here at Athletic Kulture Stadium with the Baycats trailing by a pair. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Your attention now pitching for the London Majors right-hander, number 11,
Seventh inning of play, Athletic Kulture Stadium is brought to you by Sleeman Beer. Real ones know.
Baycats have some work to do. They trail by a couple of runs, and they will face their second pitcher of the afternoon. It's right-hander Nate Bennett.
Nate Bennett's been a welcome addition to the London Majors mid-season. Came over in May. He's a product of University of Niagara, or Niagara University, pardon me, just coming out of his freshman year there. But he's had 7 appearances in the IBL, a 1.22 ERA coming into this ballgame.
And that is a team-leading ERA on this Majors pitching staff.
Yeah, Bennett pitched on Tuesday, 1 inning in relief, only allowed 1 hit, had 2 strikeouts. So kind of the same order of pitching that Roop Chandradat's gone with in both games against Barrie this week.
Clayton Keys at the plate for the Baycats. Nolan Macabrota on deck. Barrie's 5-game winning streak in jeopardy here this afternoon. 6th game in 8 days for this Baycat squad. It'll be 7-9 after tomorrow. Swing and a miss by Keys. So a strikeout from Bennett to lead off the inning. Nolan Macabrota is 1 for 2 this afternoon.
First baseman number 20, Nolan Macabrota.
Macabrota went 1 for 4 in Toronto last night at Christie Pitts in that 8-6 win over the Leafs. First pitch from Bennett, and that misses low. Tristan Clark on deck. 5-3 Majors. We're in the 7th. Fly ball, left field line, and foul as that bounces against the Major bullpen.
Final line for Travis Keys this afternoon. 6 innings pitched, 9 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts.
Really found a good rhythm in those middle innings in this close game, making sure that the Majors stayed on top every step of the way. Barrie has not led in this game, and London a 4-1 at one point. 5-3 here in the 7th. Bennett to Macabrota. Takes the pitch down. 3-1.
So Travis Keys has gone 12 1/3 innings this week against Barrie. Allowed 19 hits, 7 earned runs, 6 strikeouts.
Jack, no disrespect.
3-1 pitch incoming. Fly ball center field. And that one will bounce against the fence. Back for it is Toby Simmons. And in with a double is Nolan Macabrota with 1 out here in the 7th.
Macabrota's had hits in 12 straight games after 2 today.
He's hitting the ball deep too, and that's got to be feeling good for him. Seeing the ball well. Barreled up on that one and hit it to one of the deepest parts of the outfield.
Well, even his single in the first, that was a deep ball that, runner in front of him, Clayton Keys had to hold up on because, Tucker Zunick had a shot at it, but he ended up getting second base off of the throw.
Ben, keep in mind the walk-ups are only 30 seconds.
Deolio out to have a quick word with Bennett. Little pitch to Tristan Clark here. He is the tying run potentially here in this bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch. Fly ball deep center field. Summers going back at the wall. It is gone! We have a tie ball game. Tristan Clark goes deep for the Baycats. It's 5-5 in the 7th.
What can you say about Tristan Clark, the way he's been hitting lately? 4 RBI today, and we have a tie ball game.
Well, with 1 out of the inning, I thought maybe they'd put him on to set up the force, but they decided to pitch to him, and Clark wasted no time, jumping all over the first pitch that he saw. Pretty much hit it to the same spot Macabrota did, but about 20 or 30 feet further.
Yeah, it was a no-doubter off the bat. Toby Simmons, no shot at it.
So the bases are empty as Garcia fouls it off to the right side. Garcia was intentionally walked earlier in this game. Brand new ball game here at Athletic Kulture Stadium.
Yeah, Garcia 0 for 2. He got caught looking on a ball that arguably should have walked him. And in the first inning, he lined out to short a very hard hit ball right at Francisco Fajardo.
Fastball catches the inside corner for a strike. 0-2 the count. Noah Hull is on deck. He has a home run today. Bennett's 0-2 pitch. Right back to him under his glove and past the second baseman, Adrian Harrison. Garcia with a wide turn. He'll stay at first. 3 straight hits for the Baycats here in the bottom of the 7th.
Third baseman number 28, Noah Hall.
Well, we spoke so highly of the work that Nate Bennett has done this season coming into this game, but it may be a short hook for him this afternoon. Rube Chanderdad out. Let's see if he asks for the baseball.
Yeah, it looks like Jared Lund's throwing in the Majors bullpen, another lefty. So as soon as a right-hander comes into the game, the Baycats pounce all over him. A 2-run home run by Tristan Clark and a single by Willie Garcia, and that's going to do it for the Niagara product.
So Bennett steps off and will step aside, but the Baycats and Majors tied 5-5 here in the bottom of the 7th inning on Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Why is it just now hitting me that this is a remake of the original? Well, I think this isn't John Hoger's last couple years. It sounds like Hoger. No, it's not. It's not the original. If it's not him, it's a different version. I think it might be an original. This one's more rock, like this one's more like heavy. Well, his manager, like he signed a horrible record deal. Yeah. So until like last year, he didn't have rights to his own music. So maybe he re-recorded it, or maybe this is a live recording. Maybe he didn't have the original. This is good if it's live. Yeah. Wow. I like this one. I like the original one too, but I like this one. It's a good tune. That was started behind the stairs. Yeah, first appearance of the season.
Bottom of the 7th inning with the Baycats and the Majors tied 5-5. A 2-run homer by Tristan Clark. Knotting this one up, and Noah Hull will come to the plate with a runner on and 1 out.
Yeah, new pitcher in the ball game is Alex Springer. First appearance of the season. Played each of the previous 2 seasons for the London Majors. Last year, an 0-1 record in 2 appearances, an ERA of 12. Pitched just 3 innings, had 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 5 hits. His last appearance was in the playoffs last year against Barrie.
And Nate Bennett's team-leading 1.22 ERA is going to take a hit here this afternoon. Recording just 1 out, a third of an inning. 2-run homer by Tristan Clark, and the runner Garcia is his responsibility as well. Springer's pitch. Breaking ball for a strike to Hull. 0-2.
Yeah, Springer took the loss in Game 1 of the IBL semis last year against Barrie right here.
Here's the pitch. And it's down low, count 1-2. Hull's home run in the 6th made this a 5-3 game. Clark's home run in the 7th, making it a 5-5 tie. Runner leads, that's Garcia. Here's the pitch from Springer. High fly ball, right center field. Long way for Simmons, reaches up, makes the catch.
Well, Hull had that home run to dead center field, almost taking another for a ride there. Toby Simmons easily making the catch on the warning track.
The baseball's on. That was the farthest hit ball we've seen here in quite a few games. Those fly balls really carrying in this humidity here today.
Willie Garcia had a home run earlier this year that went a long way, but that was more out to left center field towards that light pole.
And now Garcia gets picked off. The throw is high, and he's in. He's going to take another 90 feet. Willie Garcia was hung out to dry between first and second. Looked like a sure pickoff, but a bad throw by Springer.
I think even with even if the throw was on time and not that high, Garcia would have been under the tag. I believe it's going to be scored a stolen base and an error to Alex Springer. Not the way you want to start your relief appearance, giving up 2 bases.
I like that.
That's a tough throw for a left-hander going to second base. He gets pumped and swinging and missing for a strike. 0-2. Some lefties do better with those pickoff attempts at second than others. Pitch to Plumpton. On the ground, foul.
Barrie Baycats this year, when they're trailing after 6 innings, 1-8. When the majors lead after 6 innings, they're 10-1.
So this would be just the second time this season if the Baycats can win. Right back to the mound. Springer unable to make the catch. Keeps it in front of him, though, and makes the throw in time for the out. But not before Tristan Clark hits a 2-run bomb to tie this game up 5-5 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie. Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Rob, what did you say for Pacala? What'd you call it? What did you say? Pacala? That's good for you. Pacala.
Oh, Julius said. They said no can.
We go to the top of the 8th inning here at Athletic Kulture Stadium as the Baycats and the Majors tied 5-5. Let's check in once again with Maddie Gale.
Thanks, Ben. I was talking before the game, and he told me, I was kind of comparing his stats from the start of last season to this season, and he told me he's thrilled to be playing how he is playing so far. I asked him if he changed anything in the offseason, and he said not physically, but it's definitely been a mental game for him. So I'm excited to see him on the mound.
Thank you, Maddie. He faces Josh Miles and blows a fastball by him on his first pitch of the game, strike one. Outstanding numbers for Pacala, 186 ERA, 6 relief appearances. And that is exactly what the Baycats have needed, middle relief, reliability, and consistency. Adam Kahn had a very strong relief appearance here on Thursday night.
Just Pacala's second appearance at home this season. Now also pitched on Tuesday night at Labatt Park.
The left-hander kicks and deals. Strike on the outside corner, 1-2.
Yeah, Pacala, 1/3 of an inning on Canada Day at Labatt Park, gave up a hit and a walk. Was later relieved by Carlos Sano.
Called strike 3. It's brought to you by IMP North. 1 down in the 8th.
Designated hitter number 22, Byron Reichstein.
4 pitches, 3 strikes from Pacala. Now here's Reichstein. Reichstein has 2 strikeouts today, both against Frank Garces. Lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. That's a little low.
Interesting that he hadn't had the success against Frank Garcet's today. He was actually the one that broke up Garcet's perfect game in London a couple weeks ago.
Count 1-1. 5 runs, 12 hits for the Baycats, 5 on 9 for the Majors. Another strike. Very patient at bat here by Reichstein and Niles before him.
Well, it's been about getting ahead of counts, and for Braden Pakala, that's been what's working for him this year.
Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts for Pakala. Brought to you by IMP North. 2 away.
He's made this inning look really easy. Back-to-back strikeouts for the lefty.
Now he will solidify himself as the Baycats' left-handed setup reliever if he continues to pitch this effectively. On the ground to third. Handled easily by Hull. Long throw. It's a little bit off the bag, but Macabrona with a stretch is able to catch it and hang on for the out. 3 up, 3 down with the Majors in the 8th. Barrie coming to bat, looking for the lead. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
It's the 2025 IBL Home Run Derby and All-Star Game, hosted by the Hamilton Cardinals at beautiful Barrie Baycats Stadium. Watch the league's top sluggers crush moonshots in the Derby. Then see the best of the best go head-to-head under the lights in the All-Star Game.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca.
What if a thrift store could change lives? Barrie Families Unite is making it happen. Essential needs support for those families in our community who need it most. Charity gives. Dignity empowers.
Join us this summer.
If they're not on their roster online, they're not going to be on the insert. Right. I'm not going to call their team just to get names.
Safe Inning of Play is brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Number 9 hitter Alex Wickett will lead it off for the Baycats in the bottom of the 8th inning. We have a 5-all tie. Barrie trailed in this game 4-1 and 5-2 until a home run by Noah Hull brought the Baycats to within a pair, and Tristan Clark tied this game with one swing of the bat in the 7th. First pitch, high and outside from reliever Ryan Baytel.
And Ryan Baytel, he pitched on Tuesday night as well against the Barrie Baycats on Canada Day. Went one inning after Travis Keys, had 4 hits, 2 earned runs allowed, 2 strikeouts.
Fourth pitcher of the game for Roop Chanderdat. So Keys, Bennett, Springer, and now Baytel.
Baytel, season as a whole, 2.61 ERA through 7 relief appearances.
Pitches inside. Roop Chanderdat, a manager who doesn't spend a lot of time inside the dugout. He's either coaching at third, or he's standing beside the dugout, or he's pacing back and forth in front of the dugout like a hockey coach.
Well, he is a hockey GM as well, so.
I don't think I've ever seen him sitting down, to be honest with you. A bunt from Wickett. Back to the mound. Baytel, long throw, in time for the out.
Smart thought there from Alex Wickett. He's got the speed to kind of beat that out, but a nice play coming off the mound there for Ryan Baytel.
So Noel McGarry Doyle, he has been as hot as they come as of late. 3 for 4 today. All 3 of them singles. Scored the Baycats' first run of the ball game. Coming off a pair of home runs here on Thursday. Awaits the first offering from Baytel. Here it comes. First pitch swinging to third, and it gets by Niles.
That might be an error.
Well, Niles couldn't center himself behind that ball because of where he was playing and how hard it was hit. And it just skipped past his glove.
Yeah, it's going to be scored an error against Josh Niles, no doubt about that. He had plenty of time to even come in on that ball and make a play on it, but decides to way back, and it gets right by him. No excuse for that play. Could be a costly one for the London Majors.
Just couldn't get that ball in front of him.
I wouldn't be surprised if Noel tries to steal.
So it's the second error of the game for the Majors. Swing and a miss by Hernandez.
Good cut from Hernandez. You can tell that he wants to drive in that go-ahead run. Wouldn't be surprised if McGarry Doyle decides to go here. Had a tough time against Travis Keys earlier on, lefty, but he's got a righty ahead of him now.
Fly ball left field. This is Dunnick going back, makes the catch, and Noel McGarry Doyle is going to be doubled off here as they throw to first to complete the double play. How about that? So what could have been a promising inning ends in a double play on the deep fly ball off the bat of Brandon Hernandez, and Noel McGarry Doyle doubled off at first. So the score holds 5-5. We go to the 9th inning here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp. See you this summer!
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
Ben Davy, Julius Hern, and Matty Gale at Athletic Kulture Stadium. We go to the 9th inning in a 5-5 tie. Brad Verhoeven, the first baseman, will lead it off. Adrian Harrison to follow, and then it's back to the top of the order for Toby Simmons.
And Braden Packle out there for inning number 2. We're talking in between innings, Ben. I think that even if this was a safe situation for Braden Packle, he'd be in this game.
Well, he's a guy that can give you more than one inning, that's for sure. And this one right back to first. It's Nolan Macabrota picking that one out of the dirt nicely. Steps on the bag for the out.
Not only that, it was a very quick 8th inning for Braden Packle. 2 quick strikeouts. Didn't get deep into those counts at all. And then 1 pitch and a ground out to end it off the bat of Champ Garner. And then 1 pitch out right there. So he's been really efficient so far.
And Josh Matlow's been careful not to burn out Carlos Sano's arm. And as you mentioned, he pitched yesterday at Christie Pitts in Toronto. You may need him tomorrow when the Guelph Royals are here. So Packala out to work the 9th. It's number 9 hitter Adrian Harrison. On the ground, left side. Hernandez up with it. Makes a strong throw in time for the out. 5 up, 5 down for the Majors against reliever Braden Pakala. Here comes Toby Simmons, the leadoff hitter. Simmons walked and scored in the first. That was the game's first run. Big number 45 kicks and deals, and he gets it over for a strike.
I will say it is interesting that Josh Matlow goes back-to-back lefties in this game, Garces then Pakala.
Wastes one high and away, and Simmons doesn't chase. 3 balls, 1 strike.
I wonder if Matlow has seen the splits. The Majors this year against right-handed pitching are hitting .294, but just .233 against lefties.
That's interesting. I've never asked Josh, but the lefty-righty thing doesn't seem to be something that he really factors in as a huge significant factor.
I don't think so either.
Francisco Vallardo.
Generally just goes with whoever he feels is the right man for the right situation. Simmons aboard. Here's Vallardo. So first base runner on Pakala this afternoon. Draws a throw.
Also, earlier we were talking about Frank Garces, his home road splits. While I have it open here. London at home, 262 average. On the road, 313 coming into today.
Well, a couple of examples there of stronger road performance than home, and
absolutely,
it's hard to really figure out what to attribute that to. But
that seems to be a characteristic across the league. Every team has played at least 9 home games this year, and lost at least 4 of those games.
Runner goes, pitch hit on the ground, through into right field. Rounding second is Simmons. He'll be into third easily, and the Majors have runners on the corners with 2 away.
Noah Macabrota so close to having a piece of that on a diving attempt. But a really clutch hit from Francisco Vallardo there with 2 outs, putting the go-ahead run 90 feet away.
Well, this could be the moment of the ball game right here as you have Eduardo De Olio coming to the plate. You saw his power in the 3rd inning. And the Majors looking to get back on top. We're in a 5-5 tie here with the Baycats, 2 outs. Pakala trying to get that 3rd out so that his teammates can get up in the bottom of the 9th and try to walk this one off. Runner goes. First pitch. Outside. No throw down. Vallardo will take second uncontested. And opening up first base, they will walk De Olio.
Second time he's been intentionally walked today. Back-to-back plate appearances, mind you. And how can he not make that choice, a single and a home run to start his day?
So Zdunek, the cleanup hitter, now will step up to the plate. So that matchup that would have been so interesting, Pakala versus De Olio, we won't get to see it. Baycats will elect to let London load the bases here. And they'll try to get Zdunek for the 3rd out of the inning.
This is just second at bat of the season in the IBL for Zdunek with the bases loaded. He's 0 for 1.
Takes the first pitch. It's a called strike. Nowhere to put him. He knows he's going to see something good to hit here in this at bat.
It doesn't get better than this. Bases loaded, 2 out in a tie game in the 9th.
Here's the pitch. Called strike 2. And expect a little bit of crowd noise here with this 0-2 count. 2 out in the inning. Pakala had retired 5 in a row prior to the walk to Toby Simmons. He is the go-ahead run at third. Here's the pitch. And he just fouled it off to stay alive. Barely got a piece. The at-bat will continue. 0-2 the count. Pakala working quickly. He's ready. Rocks into the windup. 0-2 pitch. And that missed a little bit outside. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, it looked like that one might be a little low, too. Great eye there from Tucker Stunek. That was a brave take.
Let's see if Pakala goes right back to that same spot. He's ready. 1-2 pitch. He wastes that one outside Plumpton, bluffing the runner back.
Yeah, I'll take that one. Yeah, Simmons has a very large lead there at third.
2 out in the inning. Pakala's 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And a couple of fist pumps from Braden Pakala as he marches off the mound. And his teammates come out to exchange some high fives as the Baycats get off the field in the top of the ninth. They'll try to walk it off when we return in a 5-5 tie here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Fans from Fort Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
Ninth inning of play brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Bottom of the ninth inning, Baycats looking to send these fans home with a win and keep the 5-game win streak intact. They'll make it 6 if they can walk it off here today. Clayton Keys will lead it off. Ryan Baytel out for his second inning of work. The majority of this crowd has hung in there through the sweltering heat today, hoping to see a Baycat win and see this win streak continue.
Well, getting their money's worth, a fantastic ball game to sit through in this heat warning weekend.
Here's the pitch, and it's fouled off to the right. Keys has reached base once. He singled and scored in the third inning. Newly acquired, playing in just his 7th game for the Baycats here today. And he lifts it high to right field. Champ Garner says he has it, and he does. 1 out in the 9th.
And Clayton Keys knew that he just missed that. A very vocal reaction from him on his way out of the batter's box. This telecast is presented by the authority of the Intercounty Baseball League and the Barrie Baycats Baseball Club. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or retransmission in any form is strictly prohibited.
Nolan Macabrota with 3 home runs so far this season. That's with the bases empty and 1 out here in the 9th. Takes the first pitch. It's a called strike. Nolan making a couple of motions with his hand, kind of demonstrating where he thought that pitch was. Baytel to Macabrota. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, Macabrota, he was just on top of that baseball. Looked like his timing was fine, but just waved over it. It looked like a changeup there out of the hand of Baytel.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Baytel from the stretch, even with the bases empty, kicks and deals. Fouled off to the left. Reminder that we're back here tomorrow night, 7:05 against the Guelph Royals. To wrap up the weekend and end this 7-game, 9-day stretch. 0-2 on the way. Foul back to the screen.
Yeah, Baytel really coming in with the fastball and curveball mix here against Noah Macabrota. That one a fastball, and Macabrota saw it out of the hand. Again, just missing that pitch towards the outside part of the plate.
Elsewhere in the IBL, the Panthers have defeated the Leafs 11-3 at Christie Pitts today. Pitches inside, 1-2. Barnstormers play the Jackfish tonight.
That was a
Hamilton is in Guelph.
That was a brave take from Noah Macabrota. That looked like it was going to be a strike, but Jared Merkley thinks otherwise.
1-2 the count. Baytel is ready. Here's the pitch. Fouled away again. It's 2 now that Macabrota has fouled off to the left side.
What's going on? I don't know what's going on.
5 runs, 12 hits for the Baycats, 5 on 10 for London. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Baytel with the pitch. Swing and a miss by Macabrota. Strike 3.
It really got him chasing there. Macabrota kind of leaning a bit too far outside. A couple clutch outs there from Ryan Baytel to start this 9th inning.
And here's the reason we're in a 5-5 tie right now. Tristan Clark hit a 2-run bomb in the 7th inning to tie this game at 5, and that's where we sit here with 2 outs in the 9th. Takes the first pitch all the way, and it's a called strike. Clark had an RBI single to go with that 2-run home run. That came in the 1st inning and drove it around with a fly ball in the 3rd. Ground ball to 3rd, and it's gloved by Niles. The throw to 1st is in time for the out. Baycats go 3 up, 3 down in the 9th, and we get bonus baseball on this Saturday afternoon. Majors and Baycats tied 5-5 here on Rogers TV and Baycats TV YouTube.
Thinking about doing a renovation but don't know where to find the best prices and quality? Go to Reno Liquidation Depot, where you'll find vanities, flooring, toilets, exterior doors, and so much more. Visit Reno Liquidation Depot today.
Step up to the plate at Park Place. The latest fashion, delicious dining, exciting entertainment. Hungry after the game? Stop by one of their patios or grab a sweet treat for a grand slam of flavors to satisfy every craving. Park Place, where every visit is a home run. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield.
Good call. So what I would do is I would hit team at bat twice. So sorry, that green team at bat. And then runner on second is Kim.
to the 10th inning. It's the Baycats and the Majors tied 5-5. It'll be Josh Niles, the third baseman, to lead it off. And he will face the third pitcher of the afternoon for the Baycats, right-hander Carlos Sano.
Keep in mind, runner on second base to start extra innings. And the runner for London is Ken Suki, pinch running for Tucker Stunek, who was the last out of the ninth inning. Struck out by Braden Pakala.
Now batting for the Majors, the third baseman, number 30, Josh Niles.
Sugi has 2 stolen bases in 2 attempts. And he represents the go-ahead run here in the 10th inning. Sano's first pitch to Niles on the way, and it's a bunt. It's foul.
Noah Hall was already playing and expecting the bunt. That's exactly what we were talking about earlier. That's Roop Chanderdat baseball.
You know, you can win the game on a bunt and a deep fly ball with a runner at second. I mean, it's the new way that baseball is.
Not sure if I like it. Think about it this way. If you have a perfect game and you go into extras, still perfect.
Yeah.
You give up a bunt and a sac fly, and you give up a run, you still haven't allowed a base runner.
It could happen one day. Runners coming in now as Niles shows bunt. And it's high and inside. A little bit of a purpose pitch there to move Niles off the plate.
You can already see the cycle happening with the infield. Noah Hall charging in a bit further. Brandon Hernandez going over to cover third base. Macabroda in on the first base side as well. Alex Wickett's still kind of behind second base there holding the runner on.
Well, when you know the bunt is coming, you may as well. He's showing bunt again. The runners creep in. Pulls the bat back, and he hits it through the left side perfectly into left field. They put the stop sign up for Sugi. How about that?
The way Tristan Clark played that ball was perfect, but the way Josh Niles hit it right into the hole into left field, kind of taking advantage of that cycle I was talking about. But Tristan Clark, the way he was playing so shallow in left field, that's what prevented that run.
So that puts runners on the corners. That is a beautiful baseball play, drawing the infielders in and then hitting it by them. Pete Rose absolutely loved that play and affectionately referred to it by using a word that I cannot repeat here on the air, but I'll tell you after the game what he called that play, because that's usually what the infielders would end up yelling after it was successfully executed on them.
Infield in, they're going to try and cut down Sugi at home, but Reichstein has only had 1 ball in play today.
Down the line, Macabroda up with it, looks the runners back, steps on first. That's an equally beautiful play right there by Nolan Macabroda. That is an important first out. Niles will advance.
Well, unfortunately for Barrie, Niles moves up to second, so the double play taken out of order. Wouldn't be surprised if they intentionally walk Garner here to put the double play back.
Brad Verhoeven is on deck. He is a left-hander, so they will pitch to the right-hander Garner here.
So the infield's still in for Barrie.
And the bunt's still a very real possibility with 1 out. First pitch from Sano, high and in. Sano feeling like these majors are getting a little too comfortable there in the batter's box.
Especially if they're going to go the small ball approach against him.
Second brushback pitch of the inning. Sugi at third, Niles at second, 1 out. We're in the 10th. Sano is ready, and he delivers. And it's fouled over the screen. This has been an absolute hard-fought battle between 2 teams, London and Barrie, here this afternoon. That's brought us to this 10th inning, tied at 5. One and one the count. On the ground to third. Hull goes home. The tag, he's out. Not a great throw by Noah Hull, but he made the right decision going home to get the runner. That would have been the go-ahead run for the Majors. Instead, it is a 5-2 putout at home plate.
You got to commend the defensive work there by Tyler Plumpton. That was not a great throw from Noah Hall, as you mentioned, but the way he was able to kind of block the ball and still come up in time to tag out Sugi. That could have been the ball game.
Josh Niles didn't have the presence of mind to take third on that play at home plate. A little surprising. He's still at second there. So Garner aboard. Here's Brad Verhoeven. Still tied 5-5. Yeah, Tyler Plumpton definitely deserves a tip of the cap for that. First pitch high and away as he wastes one. Two on for the Majors, trying to get back on top.
The advantage for Barrie, the forced play in effect around the bases.
Now's the second, Garner at first, 2 away. The 1-0 from Carlos Sano. And he misses high and away, 2-0. Twelve hits for the Baycats this afternoon, 11 for the Majors, 5 runs apiece. Sano deals. And laying off that as Verhoeven works the count to 3-0. Number 9 hitter Adrian Harrison on deck. Here's the 3-0 pitch. 4-pitch walk to Brad Verhoeven, and that loads the bases.
That might have been the worst possible outcome there for Carlos Sano. I don't think he was pitching Verhoeven quite outside that entire plate appearance.
Second baseman number 39, Adrian Harrison.
Baycats threw out the potential go-ahead run at home plate. And then a walk to Brad Verhoeven to load these bases with 2 outs. Here's Adrian Harrison. And he hits this to short. Hernandez to second in time for the out. And the Baycats will once again get a chance to walk this one off. We head to the bottom of the 10th, tied 5-5 here at Athletic Kulture Stadium. Watching Rogers TV and Baycats TV on YouTube.
Highview Contracting Group in Barrie and Simcoe County, offering award-winning hardscape, interlocking, pools, excavation, and more. Call 705-985-7669 or highviewcontracting.ca. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
To the bottom of the 10th inning, Barrie and London tied 5-5. This game now just over 2.5 hours old. It's had a pretty good pace to it, but bonus baseball for these fans here as the Baycats will try to walk it off in the bottom of the 10th inning.
Well, London's game against Guelph yesterday, 2 hours and 14 minutes. Each of Barrie's last two games, last two nights, both exactly 3 hours.
Yeah, nobody wants to be here 4 hours today, I don't think. No matter how much you love baseball. Especially when we have a game tomorrow night.
Exactly.
Willie Garcia. Baycats looking for a hero here in this 10th inning.
Yeah, runner in second's Tristan Clark.
Clark was the final out of the ninth. Here's the first pitch from Baytel, and it is a called strike.
Barrie's extra innings record this year, 2-1. London is 3-2. Against each other, Barrie has the upper hand. That extra inning win, 11 innings in London a couple weeks ago. Francisco Hernandez the hero in that one.
Here's the pitch. It's a fly ball down the line, well foul over near the Barrie bullpen. Even after all these games, it's still a little bit of a mental adjustment to remind yourself with that runner at second base that you can walk it off with a base hit. You don't need a home run. When it's a tie game situation like this, you don't need to go for the long ball.
You could be down by one and think that the game is lost, and then one swing of the bat and you got a ball game won.
Here's the pitch. Garcia lunging at it, fouling it off at home plate 0-2.
Yeah, he was lucky to get a piece of that. He was reaching quite far for that curveball on the outside part of the plate.
The other interesting dynamic with that runner at second, it forces the infielders to be mindful of that base runner, Fajardo and Harrison, as they want to make sure they keep Tristan Clark honest.
It's interesting. We saw Willie Garcia show bunt earlier on in this game, but not showing bunt in this situation.
Here's the pitch, outside. If you're Willie Garcia, you really want to watch those middle infielders to see if you can find a hole on either the left or the right side. Slap it by him, try to drive in that walk-off winning run. But you're right, if there was a situation to bunt, this would be it as well. 1-2 on the way. Swings and he misses. One down here in the 10th.
Yeah, Baytel fooled him with the curveball there. Garcia was swinging over it. Usually a low ball hitter was expecting a ball up.
All I'm going to say is Noah Hull walked off well.
Number 28, Noah Hull.
Noah Hull got the Baycats back in this game with a home run, a solo shot to make it 5-3. A second home run today would really endear him to this crowd.
Well, he was the walk-off hero against the Welland Jackfish a few weeks ago at this ballpark.
Clark, the winning run at second. Pitch is in the dirt. Well, you very seldom see a ball get by Eduardo De Olio. He is just a brick wall behind home plate. And you need that in a situation like this. Winning run, second base. Tristan Clark. Ryan Baytel on the mound. 1-0 pitch. And it's a 2-0 count to Noah Hull.
Looks like Hull's being very patient here.
No point pitching around Hull when you've got Tyler Plumpton, one of the Baycats' best hitters on deck. First base is open. Here's the 2-0 pitch on the way from Baytel. Just missed. Hull laying off, and he gets a 3-0 count.
Yeah, another curveball up in the zone. I wonder if he does get the green light here, even though he's been so patient so far.
Ryan Baytel is ready. Takes a look at the runner, kicks and deals. It's a strike, 3-1.
I do see Skylar Janice kind of pacing around the mound. Looks like he might be starting to throw now.
Right-hander in the Majors bullpen. Hopeful for an 11th inning. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt. Ball 4, and Noah Hull will go to first base. So
Oh, De Olio?
Looks like DeOlio has an injury with his hand there.
I wouldn't be surprised if that pitch just went up in the weird on the hand.
Well, he'll ring it off and stay in this ball game. Roop chanted that out just to make sure he's okay. Tyler Plumpton took advantage of the injury timeout to go have a chat with third base coach Andrew White. Would Plumpton be bunting here with one away?
He's done it before. He can get one down pretty well.
I don't know that I would make that call the way that he's been hitting this season, but would you trade it out to get the runner at third here? That's a big question. We'll see what Josh Matlow decides to do. Baytel's first pitch on the way. Plumpton taking all the way, and it's a strike.
Plumpton 1 for 4 today, had a base hit in the 6th.
Not a lot of Majors fans in the chat right now. There's like one.
Middle infield double play depth shifted slightly around to the right. Here's the pitch on the way. And it's low. The count is 1-0.
Both of Plumpton's hardest hit balls were to the right side. He lined out in the 4th to the second base.
Well, that's some good scouting by the Majors, because normally they'd be shifted the other way with a right-hander at the plate. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball for a strike. 1-2 the count. Clark at second, Hull at first. Clark the only runner that matters here, though. 1 out in the inning. 5-5 tie. Baytel looks at the runner, kicks, deals. On the ground to third. Niles takes it, bobbles it, makes the throw in time for the out. So the runners advance. That's basically the same as what you would have got if Plumpton laid down a bunt.
Could have been disastrous there for Josh Niles. Not only did he not come up with the ball cleanly, but he reacted in such a fashion. He was rushing his throw, almost cleared Brad Verhoeven, the first baseman. That could have been a disaster for London.
Would that have been a double play if he had fielded it cleanly? I wonder.
Well, with Plumpton, the way he runs, definitely could have been.
Wonder if he was thinking about Clark as well. Maybe just fielding it and sprinting to the bag to get the force out at third. But in any event, he gets the out at first. 2 on for the Baycats. And the first pitch is driven to center field. That's a base hit. Tristan Clark will score. And the Baycats walk it off against the London Majors and win it 6-5.
Alex Wickett is your hero for this ball game. The way this team has rallied around the youngster in the 9th spot has been incredible. He gets it done for them. It's another walk-off win for the Baycats at home.
And a game-winning RBI for the rookie. And look at the celebration behind second base. Tristan Clark coming home with the game-winning run. And how about the Baycats? They extend their win streak to 6, overcoming a 4-2 and 5-3 deficit to take it 6-5 here in 10 innings today.
It was kind of the long ball late in the game. A home run by Noah Hall gave the dugout some new life, and then Tristan Clark, another bomb, a 2-run shot in the 7th, tied it all up. And it kind of all built up, but it was also the relief pitching. Braden Pakula left the bases loaded in the 9th inning. Carlos Sano gets out of a huge jam in the 10th, and Alex Wickett rewards them with an RBI single to walk it off.
So the Baycats will play their 7th game in 9 days. Tomorrow night we will be here, 7:05, the Guelph Royals Sunday night game here at Athletic Kulture Stadium, as the Baycats will try to win all 7 games of this 7-9 stretch. We hope to see you then. For Julius, Hern, and Matty Gale, I'm Ben Davy. Good evening from Athletic Kulture Stadium in Springwater Township.
Hey, look, there you are. Oh, I gotta fix Ben's credit. He's still a scoreboard eyes. He's gotta be new. Ben, that's my bad.